Alright everybody, welcome back to another Xvault gaming video. Xvault here, and today we got your next dose of the salty batch files, of course, courtesy of those delusional Xbox fanboys out there and then some. So, we got a lot to get to, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. Alright, so like I was saying, what we're going to do is jump right to the salt. As always, get right to it because there's a lot of good stuff to go through, and we got a couple little videos at the end that we need to go over as well. So let's pull up our first example. You'll love to see it here. First of all, first time featuring Mr. Blake Foster here, so here we go. So here he has a post, as you can see. Whenever I see a PlayStation fan talk trash about Starfield for no reason, I just pull this up. They were hyped about it until they learned it was Xbox exclusive, LOL, and talking about J-Dub, talking about Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6, PlayStation 5 exclusive, all that stuff, just trolling like he does, clearly having some fun. But let's fast forward to more present day here real quickly, and let's check in with Blake Foster and see what he's doing here. So as you can see, Mr. Blake Foster, I was on Xbox for 16 years straight. Until today, just got a PS5 digital and a great deal on PS Plus Premium. Laughing, happy face emoji basically, right? So how amazing it is when finally somebody puts it down. And this is where we're at. This is modern day. This is current situation. Xbox and a lot of their followers, a lot of their loyalists, depending on that small echo chamber you hear on social media or whatever the case is, a lot of them are still going over to the side that still has exclusive content that makes it a reason to own a home console at this point in time without kind of abandoning your entire identity and going full force into that Game Pass mentality. So, like I said, beginning and an end here, and here we have Mr. Blake Foster just coming over to the PlayStation side. Well, I must have to say, at least you were not too prideful to not go ahead and have a tasty treat right here. And I am kind of jealous. I always get a little jealous with folks that just come over to the PlayStation ecosystem, because if you think about it, they get to experience all these great first-party games and other exclusive content for the first time, where I've done it already, and you kind of always wish you could kind of relive that experience. And I mean, if Xbox was being a little more competitive in that type of field, I would love nothing more than to also have an additional console in my house that does that. So I have to settle with Nintendo Switch and eventually the Switch 2 here. So, but let's keep going here. Not drag that one out here. This is just a quick one. Just a quick disclaimer, just a quick notification. We have Destin here, or we like to call it Dust Bin, because that's where we get all those dust bunnies and nonsensical things swept up here. Rumor, Xbox is looking to acquire Ubisoft. Source, none. I made it up just like this Sony Ubisoft rumor trending on X, talking about, in reference to, there was a slight rumor that Sony was going to possibly acquire Ubisoft. But again, what is awesome here is pot, meat, kettle black. You know, it's a weird piece of information here, because he doesn't have a mirror at home. I just don't think he does. I know he has a camera. We see all this stuff. He has a camera, he has to be playback and look at it, but if he had a real-time mirror where he's just by himself doing that, I think he could look and see how he's not too far removed from here. So talking about making up rumors, Mr. Dustbin, that is exactly what you do on and off again quite frequently. You like to come up with whatever you want or grasp onto somebody else that has no source of the rumor except for out of their beehole. That's exactly where that's coming from, and you like to turn tables at and make that happen, right? So I love it when you like to call out just the two sides of the coin here. It's just like, I'm glad you say that. A, it's not really funny or satirical because you do it yourself quite often. I mean, the credibility, and we'll get back to the credibility piece here, but bar none, you're the last person to talk, essentially. But let's keep going here. As we go here, just a quick four-piece here from Mr. Goat Gaming. Been a minute since I featured him, but the piece that I want you guys to focus on here, not just the Goat Gaming. I know I'll try to blow this up here. We'll cover my ugly mug here for the moment and go over this to expand it. But as you can see, Goat Gaming talking about Xbox is looking and acquiring, blah, 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 all this stuff, as you can see. But look at the replies is what I want you to focus on, right? We have, of course, this will be a huge W for the Xbox brand, basically. Make it happen, please. Let the rumors be true. Thanks. This will be a huge W for Microsoft. Please, yes. Wow, they couldn't be in better hands. This, that, and the other, right? So there's a thing with trolling or just doing what he does with Go Gaming, right? But then we have the replies. And I don't understand, and again, we're going to touch base on this in a moment. But we live in a world of delusion. These guys must live in a world of delusion here because they truly feel this way, or if they think or wish or hope for this stuff to happen, that A, it's going to turn things around for Microsoft, and B, it's actually going to come true, when it's not going to come true whatsoever. This is coming from Goat Gaming, A, no sources. He makes stuff up daily. He has the notoriety of doing this often. So it's sad to see. You see the circle? Do you see this bubble that we're talking about here? Do you see this echo chamber that they live in? This just delusion. You know what I mean? The delusion. And all these guys have these followings, and I don't know why you want to lie to yourself. I don't understand. I've never felt good about even remotely trying to perceive something that wasn't true into being factual. I just couldn't do that. It's just like against my nature, against whatever's ticking in my body. It just doesn't make sense. It's really needing to be studied here. I'm telling you folks, one of these days this documentary is going to come out. It's going to be super interesting on how this works, but let's keep going here. Colt Eastwood, and we're going to talk about credibility here, right? I'll have my review of Indiana Jones in the Great Circle on December 5th, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, plus a bonus video on Early Access Day. Trying to do my best Colt Eastwood impression there, right? But here's the awesome part. At least people are starting to call him out a little bit. Paul, is it as good as you said Redfall was? Lost all credibility years ago. Even if it's rubbish, everyone knows you're going to shill for it anyway. Truth. The next one here. Redfall Preview 2.0. More than likely, folks. And then, of course, Myth. This clown should definitely not review any game. Fraud. Exactly. He is completely a fraud. We know this. I'm glad more and more people are coming to senses and saying, and you want to. I mean, this is a guy that you should respect, right? You have a big following. You have a big name in the Xbox community. And this is what happens when you lie and shill and spread misinformation. And this blemish on your record, and this is just one of the many countless others that you have on your record, but one of the most apparent are the Redfall reviews and the hands-on impressions that he has done. And, so where's that credibility? You don't have any. It's such a red-branded blemish all over your moniker, over your brand, if you will, over anything that you spout and talk about and whatever. It's just, because you knew. We went over this in many videos ago. In great detail when that Redfall game came out and the reviews came out, and we had the evidence there of him going down there hands-on and glowing reviews about it, really positive and this and that. And if it's as good as it is and as polished as it is right now, I can only imagine what it's going to be like on launch, all that stuff. Like, it just goes on and on. He didn't stop. It wasn't like a couple white lies, right? Kind of glossing over some things, maybe a little forgivable, right? Give a little bit of leeway there. No, he hammered home the point that this game was a possible one of the greatest games of the year at the time, right? If not more. And he just keeps putting that foot in his mouth like he always does. But yeah, talk about credibility. You don't have any. So even when you come out with this, even if Indiana Jones is a really good game, who's to truly believe you except for your echo chamber associates there? Who's going to truly believe you? Not anybody outside of that circle. They're going to have to rely on other possible reviewers and whatever the case is there. And you have to always take that with a grain of salt too nowadays. So that's truly unfortunate for a game that could possibly truly be a good game. But again, all of your shield-fronted antics have really put a bad blemish on the Xbox brand, yourself, and possible future games like Indiana Jones, and then of course possibly Avowed. Who knows? It does follow your trail. But Let's keep going here. So this is a great one here. Last of the posts. The Gaming Prophet NYC, haven't talked to this guy or haven't featured him too much as of late. Actually been off of my feed quite a bit recently, so who knows what's going on there. But let's do a little bit of throwback, because let's just get some receipts going on here. Console sales no longer determine success. It's all about engagement of the services and software sales, in which Xbox is doing fine. Right? Watch how the narrative and goalposts always change with this guy and many of the others, obviously. Goes to show console sales is not a good measure of platform success, and yeah, other areas of PlayStation is failing. Still don't know what areas of PlayStation's just downright failing, but, you know, to each their own, right? Now let's keep going here, because out of nowhere, as of recently, as of right now, time of recording, folks, and this is what we're going to transition into in a moment here, too. Xbox Series X Digital is the best seller on Amazon US. Let's take a look at this picture here, folks. Do we notice anything a little different here? Do we know what might be showing something a little different? It says in Xbox Series X and S consoles, number 1. The white model there. So he's searching for the number 1 bestseller in Xbox Series X and S consoles. But he spins it that Xbox Series X Digital is the best seller on Amazon US, acting like this is a better seller than the Nintendo Switch still is currently, that it's a better seller than the PlayStation 5 base model, digital model, pro model, all that stuff, even the Portal. He's acting like this is the number 1 seller in the US above any of the other consoles out there, folks. No. Closer look. Does he think everybody is that dumb that we can't look in here and see how is that possible? Oh, wait. It's in the Xbox Series X and S search icon, search bar, search method within Amazon. What are we doing here? But then again, like I said, full circle. Now console sales matter, by the way. If this was true, if it was true, they matter again, folks. So is it Game Pass matters more? Is it about being everywhere? Console sales don't matter anymore, or now they matter, but only when they're first place. What are we waiting on here? Anyways, you love to see it. The satirical side needs to stop for a moment there on that. But you get the point, right? It's ridiculous. The goalpost moving is absolutely absurd. But that being said, this right here, we got a quick video to show you. It's in regards to XL Boomstick and crew. Once again, keep in mind this guy has a ton of followers. Keep in mind. Go ahead and take a look at this video here.
Well, we learned this week, well, more specifically, Fuzzy, that, the Xbox Series X Digital Edition is number 1 on Amazon. Now, why is that important? Well, it's Amazon. Amazon is one of the biggest retailers, or at least the online retailers in the United States. Now, are they big in the rest of the world? Absolutely. But are they big here? Yeah. So when you get number 1 on their video game charting sales list, I think that kind of proves that you are not going away. And again, this is not the biggest topic of the show. This is one of those I just want to laugh about it kind of a topics, but it's funny. I don't think people understand how big Xbox actually is, and I think this is more proof that not only are they not going anywhere.
Wow. Like I said, I don't have to go too hard on the picture here. I think you get the point. He's talking about this exact post from Gaming Prophet NYC or anybody else that possibly have shared this and he got his hands on this information. He truly believes that this is factual information. Again, full circle like we're talking about before in this same video here. Credibility, misinformation, harming the brand due to misinformation. It doesn't end here. And these folks latch on to this information. What are we doing? What are we doing? It's absolutely absurd. And they believe it. It's not trolling. It's not satirical. They truly believe it. So again, I ask you, like I did early in the video, why would anybody, because I can't, I just cannot fathom lying to myself to make myself feel better about a console brand or anything out there in this world that is a material possession, that something is doing better than what it really is to make myself feel better and to make my followers feel better and to make anybody in the audience feel better about it. That's not the case. If you accept the truth, that's going to make you feel much better in the end. You're going to make a guided decision on what you want to do with your hobby or hobbies. Right? Right? Why are we sitting in a circle of an echo chamber and trying to fool one another, fool our brethren, fool our brothers and sisters, fool ourselves over misinformation to make ourselves feel better and to make everybody else try to feel better and put that Band-Aid over it? This isn't helping anybody in the long run or the short run. It's really not. And it's weird, it's delusional, it's mentally not healthy. It's so weird. It's so weird. Couldn't be me. Hopefully it's none of you out there watching as well, because it's time to wake up if you are. If you are aware of what Boomstick and many of the others are stating is misinformation and you know this, get out of that. You can still play what you want, game on what you want. That's not the message I'm trying to convey. I just want everybody to make their own personal guided decisions off of actual factual information. If that's still where you want to be, you like the direction of Xbox, all that stuff, more power to you, game on, and enjoy that. Right? Simple as that. Now, that being said, I got one more great clip here. It's of Gaz. It's of his special video that he did with the Rev. I love the Rev. I think he's a good guy. Again, like I stated before, I agree with 90% of the things the guy says. I really like the interaction here, but first of all, let's go ahead and just take a look at the video here.
You're still an Xbox guy, right?
Well, I'm always going to vouch for the idea of what Xbox could have been, but I'm moving to PC. But I will always shit on the PlayStation guys. It's just something in the
whoa. You like Xbox first party better than Sony's?
I like the roadmap of their games. The future roadmap is more brighter.
Give me some examples, please.
Fable.
Let's get into this.
Fable's gonna look really good. Doom is gonna be incredible. Like nothing on PlayStation.
Yeah, that's not fair.
What do you mean? Because they bought it?
Because this IP's been around long before Microsoft had anything to do with it.
So what do I call
that? Oh shit, these people are awesome. Let's buy them. That's cheating. You can take credit for Halo. Halo is Xbox.
I like Halo as well. And the PlayStation doesn't have any first-person shooters. Apart from
Halo is good. Forza is Xbox.
Yeah.
You know, that's an Xbox brand. I just feel like Sony first party has better games. I feel like they have more immersive games. I feel like they have graphically superior games, and they're just overall higher quality. And that's not me trying to cater to anybody. I just genuinely believe this. I don't know. These games just have a higher level of quality, I feel. Whereas Xbox is more like arcadey. And look, Gears 5 was quality, but it wasn't Gears 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah, it wasn't. No. Look, I'll give PlayStation its flowers all the time.
All right. So, what are we to take away from this video, right? There's not too much now. This clip came from James on social media. He's another guy on social media that gets these clips real quick, does quick searches, gets them, minimal effort, stuff like that. So he says, and yes, he does cut a lot of things that Gaz does say in rebuttal, right, of what he states, of his answers and stuff like that. But that's not what I'm focusing on. What I want to focus on is, I want to appreciate Revs being honest there, because he's 100% true. But because of him being so honest, I love the stuttering that Gaz does. I love that he has to pause for a minute when he's being asked, well, what is it about Xbox that makes you think it's better? What do you like about Xbox, right? You love the stuttering. And he sits there, the roadmap, right? The first thing, the roadmap. There's vomits up the roadmap. That's, dude, if I hear roadmap one more time, did Astrobot this year for PlayStation, was that part of any roadmap? No, it just kind of came. The roadmap has been nothing but false promises and lies, gifted to you from the used car salesman Phil Spencer himself, but we're still going to latch onto that because he has nothing to do. And then he tries to transition, you know, tries to use everything that Xbox has acquired, which, yes, it is part of Xbox technically, because it is, but it's nothing grown from the ground. There's been nothing special about it. Yes, great, you grabbed Doom, the IP from the acquisitions. You grabbed this, that, and the other. Yes, Halo was a great IP, still is essentially a good IP. Gears, the first trilogy was great, all this stuff, right? That's fine, but to sit there and then has to backtrack, well, you know, PlayStation doesn't have great FPSs. Okay, they have pretty much great everything else, and they weren't any slouches in the FPS genre. I loved Resistance. We all still loved Resistance. We all still really enjoyed Killzone. Did they sell like they should have? No. For whatever reason, they didn't. Want to know part of that why? Well, because Halo was a better FPS franchise. Gears was a great franchise, and so it did scratch that niche, right? But there's no slouch over on PlayStation side of things as far as quality. They just didn't sell what the goals were there to sell. So simple as that. But again, roundabout piece to that, I love the stuttering because he knows he's fooling himself. And we're talking about lying to ourselves, the delusion. The roadmap. Let's default to the roadmap. It's just truly, truly pathetic. And then tries to, well, I give PlayStation their flowers. Please, please, without some sort of backhanded compliment and this and that in the very next post, whatever, trying to downplay something, whatever, dude. But it's just really pathetic to see, and it just goes hand in hand with the delusional, echo-chambered minds. And when you get somebody with an open mind like Rev on your channel, as a guest, whatever, he's going to be the realest dude out there with you. One of the realest dudes out there with you. And you love to see it, but just wanted to share that. I loved the stuttering. I loved the default to roadmap. Just wanted to share it with you. I thought it was great. That being said, we'll end the video here, folks. I appreciate you. If you did watch to the end of the video, thank you so much again. Really appreciate that. I'm sure one of Gaz's cronies or somebody will be tattling on him. He'll make another 15-minute documentary on me. Good for you. And we'll just end that there. But if you haven't already, definitely leave a like, comment down below. Both those things do help out the algorithm. Really do appreciate that. I'd love to hear from you as well. Those are always great conversations to be had. And of course, if you haven't already, definitely consider subscribing, helping out a small content creator like myself. I really do appreciate it. And we are edging ever close to that 3,000 subscriber goal. I know I said edging, probably shouldn't have, but it is what it is. And that being said, just remember, these guys really don't enjoy this channel growing. They don't like the facts out there. And when I say these guys, I mean those Xbox delusionalists that we go over and talk about very often. So, enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. And just remember, don't be a salty batch. And we'll see y'all next time on the next Xvault Gaming video. And until then, take care.